typical famous greeting now, isn't it? I said I would come on here around 7:30-ish. I can't, I've got all the little icons on the right. So I don't feel like I'm centered because I haven't yet figured out how to sit directly in front of the entryway table so that you can see everything behind me. So there's the flower vase, there's the candles. I got paid today, so I went shopping. I went to Michael's. They were having 60% off. What I wanted was a black cake plate, but they didn't have it. It was tiny and gray, which that's not what the picture was. But over in the section where they had some Halloween things left over, I found this lamp of Bastet. So now I have a statue and a lamp. This is one way you can hide your magic in plain sight. There's no bulb in it because I have my misting cauldron here from the Dollar Tree. So, hello, welcome. Happy super full moon. Tried to cut my bangs. I wasn't successful. So I just got a headband on tonight. Jade is here. I'm sorry I don't have a chair. Do you want to come up in my lap? Come here. Come here. Pardon the bottom of my cup in your face. Come here, Jade. Come here. I mean, this is really tight quarters. I'm sorry. You're going to have to jump in my lap. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Here she comes. Oh, come here. Let me grab you. Let me grab you. Let me grab you. She's heavy. She used to be the little one. Okay, Jade. There you are. Hi. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm Jade here. Hi. This is my familiar Jade. She's very strongly connected to Ganesha. Okay, honey? Okay, all right. There you go. There you go. Okay. Thanks for carefully jumping down. I have to cut her fingernails a lot, often. So I am here tonight because I thought I've made a lot of videos. Okay. I'm up to 911 subscribers, I think. I'm very close to 1,000. It's been over 7 years. And I have talked about how I have actually benefited financially by aligning myself with the moon in Taurus and the fixed star Aldebaran. I'm going to give you some tips and techniques on how you can do that tonight. I talked briefly about aligning yourself with a particular current in my last live. That might have been aligning yourself with your third eye and your intuition through my psychic eye oil. It can take some people shorter or longer period of time, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, maybe even longer, depending on how busy you are and distracted you are in your life. So I spent quite a lot of my spare time over the years just looking into metaphysics and the mysteries of the universe. And one of the things that I have said sort of mirrors what Clifford Hartley Lowe states, is that sort of like finding the lost sock from the dryer, he was led to astrology, and there he found astrological magic and working with celestial energies, the stars. We live in a hierarchical Russian doll type of system. Okay. I say astrology is the heavenly clock, but up there we have the stars, we have the constellations. And from the stars, energy trickles down through the moon. It has to go through the moon, and then it makes its way down to the earth. So if you've been working with the moon, moon phases, moon transits, because that is your next step in learning to work earth-based spirituality, sorcery, witchcraft, whatever you decide to call it, okay? Your next step is the constellations and the stars. So that's when I began to look at astrology in my astrological chart. And even though I was still looking at Western, I began to hit upon something by accident, and it turned out to be correct because I'm now much more aligned with the Vedic astrology, and I am on the temple path. So for those of you who don't know me, I am, my name is Sabrina. I am a mystic, okay? I receive a lot of information, messages, guidance, downloads from spirit in dreams primarily. I read Akashic records in dreams. It's when my spirit travels and I'm connected to spirit. But I was told that the way I work is through, in this physical realm, in my avatar, okay, this physical body, as a traditional shamanic witch, okay, shamanic counselor, shamanic healer, and this encompasses a lot of things. Over this past, I'd say 6 to 9 months, I have discovered how deep and how much into the other dark shadow spirit realms the shaman really does go. It is not for someone who has not been designated in their chart to do those things. It is kind of dangerous, all right? When you want to help someone, you take on their disease and then you purge it from yourself so that they can get better. I already had some stuff going on because I've been around people that have, negative energies, and they were coming around regularly to visit me. And I didn't yet understand, that these people that have these energies really are going to get them, you're going to get affected to a lesser or a greater degree. And I was recently affected to a greater degree and have been trying to figure out how to heal. And I finally hit upon a few things. All right. And I think part of that is because I have aligned myself with Taurus, the moon, Aldebaran, and the goddess Astarte, which is how my Etsy shop got started. This is the oil. She has a lot more to her than we fully understand. She is about the body. She is about luxuries. She relates to Taurus and, of course, the planet Venus. Therefore, she is going to be in the house of Taurus, and she's somewhere between, I think, 22 and 26 degrees. It's a fairly high degree. So working with this particular benevolent goddess can help you in many different ways. She could help you learn how to maybe manage your money better, discover where you might have had a sort of poverty consciousness that you maybe didn't even think you had. And just by shifting your mindset, right, instead of using money in one place and deciding to put it somewhere else, you are going to prosper even more. And a lot of people focus on prosperity. This is not for short term, okay? If you think of the bull on Wall Street, this is for long term, generally, long term investing. That's what it used to be about for many, many years. Oh, okay. Watching from where? Try it. Okay, I'll try it. Watching from where? Okay, that's on my face. Start a Q&A. I don't know what's going on, guys. Answer. Okay, why is that on my face? I don't like that. When the moon comes closer to the earth, many people are going to feel much more emotional. Some people are going to want to just kind of hang out at home. If you're intermediate to advanced, you may want to just lay around and take a nap like I did yesterday and today. Now, one of those reasons is I have been pushing myself to work a little bit more. I haven't worked an extra day, but I've worked a full day where I had to be very attentive with several different children that had, I had to walk back and forth, up and down stairs. And finally, after a few days, I started taking the elevator because I walked 3.5 miles. Okay. So while you're gaining prosperity, you might be working more, physically doing more. And if you're on a healing journey and you're feeling better, this is another way to sort of help your body get conditioned and see, okay, I'm getting back to my old self. Maybe I can do this at least this amount of days, maybe one more. Okay. It might also encourage you to speak up, right? If you decide you want something, you've got to let people know more than once so that they know you're serious. I do want to do this type of a thing. I do want to do it regularly or more often or every day or, 3-4 days a week. So in that vein, that is what I have done right now. I expressed this to the person who is in charge of hiring, and I made it clear, no, not just for today. I'm applying for a more regular position. He said, oh, okay, I'll put you down. He said, I'm creating a position that has less hours. To be honest with you, if I could have a 4-hour day, it would be fine. It would be awesome. Because if it's 4 days a week or 5 days a week, a 4 or 5-hour day would be better than 6.5. For me, at least I would know where I'm going the next day, right? So it's predictable, it's regular, and I can count on it, literally, how much is coming in. So if your goal is to actually figure out how to start saving again, or maybe even opening a little retirement account, $50 or so at a time, then there's some adjustments that you can actually ask the higher realms, the star realm, to bring through the moon and bring down to manifest. So what I did originally was wait for a moon in Taurus, and I took out a moonstone I purchased many years ago at a flea market. It is encased in silver. It's milky moonstone, and I just really loved it. So I pulled it out and I turned it over, and I took my atame, but you can buy an engraving tool again at the Dollar Tree. One end is pointy and the other end is more round. Now I use the pointy one for carving candles sometimes, And this is what you would use, or you could use a nail. And you're going to carve on there the symbol for Aldebaran, which is like I think it's a 6-pointed star. That's the bull's eye. Then you're going to put a crescent moon, and then you're going to put the symbol of Taurus. Then you're going to smudge it in smoke. And you can say what you need to say. What I said was, I desperately need for my home to sell, please. This is very much about home, guys. Very much about solid foundations, which are lasting long term. The ground, the land the house is on, the house that's on the land, right, that's been built and it's been standing for more than 10 years. Perfect for buying a home or selling a home. Now, you have to sometimes trust, like me, because it was only 2 weeks before I was going to have to just leave my residence, right? And somebody had called the agent that I had found, who was showing it on the weekends. And it was in May when Taurus was in the heavens. And he said, I got a call from someone who wants to buy your house. He wants to come over now. So it was raining, I sat in his car, and we negotiated a little tiny bit. And my house sold at the last minute. So then I was able to go and move into an apartment. From then, I realized, because I had learned, my talisman was going to be working with me. It's when it's on you, it's localized, it's on your skin. I've said this several times. It is going to become imbued with you, your body and your subtle body. And even if the markings eventually go away, that just means it has made its way into your body and your subtle body. It was about a year later, when I was hoping to be able to take my money and go buy a twin home or a condo or something, that it was biting me, literally just poking at me like pins and needles. And what the heck is going on? I forgot that it becomes a living thing and it can talk to you. Again, the moon came in Taurus, and I had a dream I was touring an apartment. Because of what was going on at that time, I decided I'm just going to have to move from here. We were still in lockdown. The manager had rented to anyone and everyone. There were drug dealers next door, screaming, fighting, yelling, partying. And I wrote a letter to the regional manager, found another apartment, and within a month, I was out of there. And I had gotten up to go look at a place, and the person who was with me said, oh, what is that place right across the street? I said, I don't know. And it was that place that I went in to tour that I realized when I got home, that is the apartment I saw in my dream. So it can work in different ways, but it very much has to do with your home security, okay, and land. Now, it also has to do with your body, all right? And when we talk about the ancient goddess Astarte, she was the governess of the fertility of the land, in charge of telling the farmers when to plant the seeds, when to harvest. And there was also her consort, the god Baal, who was in charge of the rains that would come to help, right, fertilize the ground and the seeds so that they could grow. These are beautiful energies, guys. Beautiful, beautiful energies designed to preserve human life. Now, she's also about families, partnerships of all kinds because of Venus. And then, of course, the fertility between male and female, children, a happy, harmonious life. So now silver relates to the moon, so that's perfectly fine. I also have Astarte talismans because I was just so grateful for what I was learning, and she had helped me the very next day after I did a working with her, that I had an artist design the talismans, and I consecrated them. They were pendants. Now they're talismans. They're consecrated for 10 days. And that is on my coffee account. The oil I made, I was selling on my Etsy shop, but now I have coffee, KOFI. The link is in the bio, all right? Many people, unfortunately, end up doing a lot of spell work throughout their year, what I call putting out fires. What you really want to learn how to do is get a mindset where you are somehow building long-term security, no matter how little you have to put aside every couple of weeks, because that is your hedge against inflation, right? Inflation is what many people, I think, don't understand, is what causes these setbacks. It's not so much the value of the currency. Other ways of getting resources, you will have to be resourceful. And I was going to offer a discount on my oil. I posted it on my community post about an hour and a half ago. Ooh, there goes my bottle. Here's a stick of incense. Very easy, guys. You just want to smudge it and say what exactly it is. I align myself with moon in Taurus, Aldebaran, Venus, the goddess, the constellation Taurus. Help me understand how I can do better with my money, or get a house, or sell this house, if that's what you need to do. All right. Sometimes we have to make difficult decisions. We've overextended ourselves. And like for me, I got in a place right away to get away from where I was. And there was a combination of things going on. 2020, schools closed. They kept telling us it was going to reopen. So I didn't go and get another job. I was living off my savings. I moved into this really nice apartment, and then it started to become too much for me, even though I got a really good raise. I just could not keep up with the rate that so many things were going up. And sometimes you're pedaling as fast as you can. You've got to find a way so that you can start saving. And for me, it was to work extra just so I could go and get into a more affordable place, even though it's smaller. It's not easy to go out and get a place nowadays anymore. It was, I think, easier in 2020. So we know with the rate of inflation may be a little bit slower. It's taken me some time to actually get back to even with my finances. So, we're going to have setbacks from time to time, and you're going to have to each time learn from that experience, become more and more determined to save every single dollar that you can, either in savings or some type of a investment. And I'm not giving advice on that. I'm self-taught, but I also went to college. So you may have to talk to someone who knows something about that, right? Whether it's a 401k at work, or getting onto a brokerage and putting a few dollars in something that you know. If you are with Verizon, put a few dollars in Verizon. If you need to buy Nikes, every 6 months, put a few dollars in Nike. That's all I'm going to say about that. Whoever is here, I have posted in my community post that I would offer a discount on my Astarte oil if you're interested. All right. I have many oils now on my coffee account. This is the one that started it all. And I had named my Etsy shop after her. If you want, you can buy some copper. You could put it on your altar. You can wrap it around your wrist, and go to sleep with that. But I've had incredible success aligning myself with the constellations, the stars, the fixed star, Aldebaran, the moon, and Taurus. Anytime I see things that align with that, I try to buy it. I bought a candle holder at Target that has the constellation Taurus. When I put a candle in it, the eye of the bull turns red. I thought, oh my gosh, who designed this? Because this is perfect. And every time the moon would come into Taurus, I would put that candle in there. And this is something that you're going to want to do. I did it for a year. And that's when this was poking me, and then I had that dream. So this is all I have to say, I guess, right now about how to work with the moon in Taurus. So you're working with higher energies, the constellation, the stars in that constellation. These are higher, you could say, intelligences. The fixed star, Aldebaran, hello. And I dropped my bottle. I purchased some bottles. And I was going to offer whoever would like this bottle. Isn't that beautiful? With my handcrafted Astarte oil. You let me know, I'll give it to you. And I always have free shipping. Okay. Okay, so that's it, I guess. I've been on for 27 minutes. I don't have a lot of other things to say. This is a feminine divine, just like Bastet, the Bastet lamps that I bought today, the moon, Venus, Taurus ruled by Venus, and allowing it to work with you and help you if you need to sell your house, or if you want to get the house you've been looking for, or a piece of land for a house, or even if you feel you need to improve the relationships within your family dynamics, which I can't go into that because sometimes we are meant not, people that don't want to change, we have to accept the fact that we have to go on and do what we feel we need to do, all right? And that should not be easy. It takes a lot of thought and meditation. It also takes a lot of planning, okay? You need to have some credit, you need to have some money, you need to have a phone, you need to have a car, and some source of income. All right, I don't know who's here. If you're willing to say hello, I have made the announcement that if you like this bottle and you would like the Astarte oil in it, let me know and I'll give it to you. All right, you can go to my coffee account, ko-fi.com/casting cauldron. I think the link is in the bio. And you're welcome to leave any questions, please. I'm doing lives because I've been trying to interact with people. I'm doing them on my phone because I wasn't getting people on my computer. So rather than give a discount, I'm just going to right now offer to put it in this beautiful bottle if you would like. Okay, unscrews, takes off. You put it on your sigil, your candle, and then you'll always have this beautiful bottle. You could always order another bottle of my oil and refill it in there. Okay, so you know, if she leads you to information that helps to heal your body, fantastic. If she helps you develop fertility in your body, fantastic. She might even lead you to Lilith like she did for me. That's really what I want to get on here and start talking about in a series, just like I've done with my dark moon. It's in my, those videos are in my playlist. Serpent energy is incredibly healing. And also when you get to that point, you can manifest larger amounts of money quicker. Okay, serpent energy is very powerful, and it is absolutely worth learning what it is and how you can align yourself with that current. It's going to help you shed your skin, guys, but I think you need to maybe start like I did with the start date. And then Lilith is her handmaiden. She is both an owl and a serpent. She came to me first as an owl, and then later I was led to Astarte. So yeah, I'll talk more about that when I get on to speak about how serpent energy came into my life and the process of actually shedding a lot of limitations, a lot of aspects to ourselves that aren't doing us any good, right? If you're not having meaningful relationships with people. So I don't have anybody else coming. I've been talking here for 32 minutes. I'm going to ask you to please like and share. Put the word out. I'm going to be talking about aligning yourself with serpent energy. If you are willing to learn and listen about that, how this will eventually lead you to deeper understandings about yourself, and then you'll become more and more and more aligned with serpent energy and will be able to manifest. It's not about becoming super, super wealthy. I mean, I guess it depends on what you ask for, okay? And I'm still learning and growing, and probably when I get worn out again, we'll lay down and say, I'm pedaling as fast as I can. You know, I need $10,000 this time. Stay tuned. All right. Namaste. Blessed be. And watch for the community posts. You can hit the all button, the bell, right? And you'll see I'm posting on the community. That's where you'll see when I'm going to go live. And yeah, go get yourself a moonstone. You still have a couple of days to capture that moon in Taurus energy with the full moon. Go to Target, get some earrings that, you know, look like they have a silver backing. Get yourself a little tool or a nail to engrave on the back. Smudge it with incense. Guys, if you have a need, that's fine. But we need to get in the practice of doing this regularly, okay? Right? It's insurance to do it regularly so that we're not getting behind And then doing emergency magic. We got to get out of that habit. All right. Blessed be. I hope to see somebody soon. So long.